Yes. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. Yeah, good evening. Wow, today I'm so expecting today class. Oh, I'm sharing some PPT. Wait a minute.
Yeah, your internet connection is unstable.
Okay. Yes, I'm ready. Wow, say hello again. 자, everyone turn on the mic and turn on the camera. Are you ready? Yes. Before the start the class, I hope to say hello in the screen. Hi, hello. Hi. Yes, shaving your hands. Hi. Yeah. Yes, before the today class, I'm so expecting and a little bit nervous about today because it's the first time to country students talk discussion class. Today, we will find about what can we do for the SDGs. Yeah, we'll combine the three school students in our school, Incheon High School and the Yeongjong High School and the SMK Takis Papar School students. I'm so happy to see you again. First of all, before the class, I have the two notices. First one is do not shame to speak English the wrong things. Is it okay? Everyone know about that. Second thing is please shaving your hands or raising your hands when you have a question. Okay? Yes. And please turn on the camera and please turn on the mic. Okay. Today we'll discuss about SDGs. The last time we talked about that. Do you remember the SDGs? What's that? What's mean the SDGs? Who say about that? SDGs, what's mean?
Sustainable Development Goals.
Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, thank you. The Sustainable Development Goal means SDGs. Today we'll talk about that. We'll start about the three sections. First of all, prologue means we know about what is the SDGs. The second is four sections. We discuss about the four sections. First of all, the education inequality, SDGs goal number 4. The second one is SDGs number 10, human rights. Third thing is the SDGs, the 13, environmental program. And fourth thing is SDGs number 16, immigration issue. We discussed about it 2 weeks. Two Malaysian students and two Korean students talk each other, discussion about it. Yeah, the last one about the prologue. Yeah, are you ready? Why too nervous? Yes, please. Yeah. I think you forced them to present maybe as a team, and they must have gotten very close while preparing for the presentation. Yes, the first of all, the prologue, we talk about what is SDGs. Did you remember that picture? What is the SDGs? This is the SDGs, the cake models. Who read about this agenda? Who can read it? The Korean students, who? Suwon, can you read them?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Read about that.
2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015, provides a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet now and into the future. As its heart are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which are an urgent call for action by all countries developed and developing in a global partnership. They recognize that ending poverty and other deprivations must go hand in hand with strategies that improve health and education, reduce inequality, and super economic growth, all while tackling climate change and working to preserve.
Yes, right. Thank you. Yeah, so SDGs is a new way of being the Sustainable Development Goals and how they will link. Yeah, this model is something new. This model is 2016. Scholars suggest a new way of being of economic and social and ecological aspect of the Sustainable Development Goals. The scholars argues that all the sustainable things are,
코로나19 감염 예방을 위해
This is the bell, our school bell.
세워야 합니다. 하루에 12번씩 손을 씻어도 지나치지 않습니다. 기침이나 재채기를 할 때는 옷선으로 가리고 해야 하며 씻지 않은 손으로 눈, 코, 입을 만지지 않습니다. 열이 나거나 호흡기 증상이 있을 때는 반드시 선생님에게 알려야 합니다. 건강한 학교 생활을 위해 코로나19 예방 수칙을 잘 지킵니다.
Yeah, sorry, this is the school bells in night bell. Yeah, yes. So the scholars argue that all the sustainable development goals are directly or indirectly connected to the sustainable. We'll find out how the number 4, 10, 13, 16 goals affect the world. Education, current and human rights, environmental problem, and human rights, how do it work? So before the start about discussion, we're watching some videos. That is about the 2 seconds, 2 minutes. It will be helpful our understanding about what is the SDGs. Oh, wait a minute. The sound is good. Yes, it's all done. Yeah, with watching the 17 goals about that, we will talk about the 4 goals. First of all, the education is. Raise up your hands. Who is team education is? Okay, the second thing is human rights. Who is the team? Good. The third is the environmental programs. Who is the team? Good, thank you. The last one is immigration issue. Who? Okay, yes, I can know it. So we'll start about your things. First question is education issue. Suwon, Che, Judy, and Bonnie will talk about education issue. Are you ready? Who is the leader about this team? Who can control about that? Suwon? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Sharing about the screen. Wait a minute, I will give you the rights. Yes, you can do that. So the first section is education issue, okay? Yes. Are you ready, Suwon?
Yes.
Yes. All students give me the tour. Fighting. Yes, let's start it.
I will talk about educational inequality today. I'm someone who first present today. Our presentation sequence is me and Bonnie, Shay, and lastly Jude. We present the title and why and what and how and conclusion. And actually, I will show you one video about this inequality of education. Let's see.
Malcolm X once said that education, some passports are better than others. The holder access to better schools, teachers, and in turn, a more prosperous future. These inequalities have been around long before COVID-19. The pandemic has both exacerbated them and made them visible. Countries. For example, only 4 out of 100 children in Africa is expected to enter a graduate or postgraduate institution, compared to 14 out of 100 in South and West Asia and 36 out of 100 in Latin America. In developed countries, the quality of schooling is great, whether rich or poor. High national wealth and is no guarantee of high equality. The UK, Germany, and the US are among the richest countries in the world, but all three rank poorly on an educational inequality table of 41 of the world's richest countries. By the middle of secondary school, educational inequalities are worse than in other countries, much smaller economies such as Latvia, Spain, and Estonia. However, research has shown child development is income. Unsurprisingly, the US and the UK have some of the highest levels of income inequality among OECD countries. In the UK, there has been a significant lack of social mobility since 1945. As wealth inequality has remained high, there hasn't been much change how well British children are doing at school. In 2019, by the Education Coalition Fair Education Alliance, pupils from disadvantaged backgrounds in the UK lagged their peers by more than 8 months in writing and maths by age 11.
Children from persistently disadvantaged backgrounds are 22 months behind by the time they finish their school career. Small progress has been made in helping some children almost odds overcome barriers that face them. But the systemic underlying factors of our education still remain, which means we're not ever reaching those disadvantaged.
So what are the contributing factors of education inequality among children? Said the child's educational progress background, what kind of jobs the parents have, or whether the child is a first generation immigrant can affect the likelihood of continuing into higher education. Equality between genders is also apparent from a young age. It tends to grow as children get older. Inequality among girls are generally better than boys by the age of 9, and in turn, that discrepancy. And finally, which school you go to can have a significant impact on what academic. In many countries, the debate on inequality in education is seen through the prism of private schools versus state schools. The UK is home to some very famous private schools like Eton College and Harrow School behind me. Of the 55 British prime ministers, nearly half were educated at just these two schools, along with prominent actors, writers, scientists, and royalty from across the world. To compare, the entire state school education, a young person starting nursery costs an average of around $96,000. The annual school fees at Harrow, however, costs around $56,000 for just 1 year of a child's tuition. And that is dwarfed by private schools in the Swiss, such as the Rose Inn, which costs more than $135,000 per year. Many believe that private education is at the root of inequality and reduces the chances for those students who attend state schools. The statistics tell us that educational privilege provides significant advantages and opens many doors.
Okay. Okay, how was the video? And I think we can connect this video with these things. So, and I present the title and why. First of all, our title is COVID-19 and deepen educational inequality. My first reason is educational problems caused by the prolonged COVID-19. More times we have online classes in COVID-19, so worse the learning gap between students. I felt this very much in school and my friends. So we have to solve this. And second reason is to find a ways to solve those problems. So I think it is most important thing in now. For example, in Korea, we can look for the assistance of government like financial assistance or a laptop like this. And lastly, the last reason is hope it gets more better. This is what everyone hope. I think we must have much consistent concert and materialized strategy. Yeah, this is done. And next part is about what is education inequality. Next presenter.
Okay, all right. I will be presenting about the what sessions of the educational inequalities.
Yes,
All right.
sorry, what's your name?
Oh, sorry. My name is Bonnie Venture.
Yeah, Bonnie, you look so nice. The church is so nice. Yes, your uniform, school uniform, very nice. Thank you, and start it.
Right. Okay. My name is Bonnie Venture Jones, and I will be presenting about the what part in this educational inequalities. First of all, educational inequality is an examination of the political and economic factors associated with educational disparities around the world. So educational inequalities is mainly because of poverty. Poverty is the main lead of these three problems that we shown here in the slides, which is poverty of parents, difference in home environment, and differential standard of educational environment. So let's start with poverty of parents. Children from poor families fail to attend educational institutions where educational training is expensive. So we know that some of the school require costs for the children to continue studying. And then this is a very problematic to families which is have poverty problems. So lots of the children doesn't have their like access to the proper education. So what causes the inequality is the parents from the high standard family have the children all the access in the educations, like they have money and they have all the things that they require to continue the study even further. So the parents from low standard family have low educations and parents from the high standard family has high education. So this is what caused the inequalities to begin with. So the second thing is differences in home environment. In most cases, parents are illiterate with the children are first generation learners. Their children do not get the need encouragement, help, and academic support from their parents. On the contrary, children from educated family get all the supports and encouragement from their parents. So this is come from the mindset of the people. Like we say, from a family that is low standard or having problem in poverty, things that they cannot have the higher education because of their problem like monies and books and all of that. But the student from the high standard family have the encouragement, like their parents can provide them with money, with equipment to continue study. So they feel encouraged to continue study even further. And this is also the main lead for the educational inequality, which is also the cause of the poverty. And the last one is differential standards on education environment. Children from poor families receive education in substandard institutions, which are not properly equipped with teachers, teaching aid, and apparatus. So This is also the main problem for education inequalities because not all schools in this country in Malaysia have the high equipment or well-maintained one. As we know, Malaysia is the one of the underdevelopment countries. So this problem is pretty common among students in Malaysia. So some schools have very poor maintenance or very low on teachers that is have high skill. But some other school has teacher that is very good or very well maintained school. So this is causing the inequality to begin for the children because of the school which is a good school to, yeah, let's say a good school and bad school. These two students have difference and learning environment. So that's it for the inequality. What is inequality? And the main problem is the poverty. So that's it from me. Thank you. Okay, we moving to the next presenter. All right.
Hi, I'm Chaeyoung from Yeongjong High School, and I will present the why part. So there are some ways that we could confront or overcome our international education inequality. First of all, starting an equitable change in education will lead to quality education. We need to treat everyone equitably in education instead of equality. So that means meeting the specific needs of those around us and aiding them in those particular areas would help tremendously. Secondly, actionable steps for those in need. Donating any education resources, reference books, worksheets, past year paper, something like that you are not using anymore to the nearest public institution or organization, such as Buku Hub, which is organization in Malaysia for providing the fund in reading or distributing books and several stuffs. And there's also have the Salvation Army. Salvation Army which is mainly focusing on Christian community that doing charity works. In additional, in Korea, they are making effort to expand employment after high school graduation or to increase the proportion of general high schools rather than special purpose high school or private high school. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jude, and today I'll be presenting the conclusion for this PPT. To conclude, educational inequality is the uneven distribution of educational opportunity, academic and financial resources, including school funding, experienced teachers, and technology that results in lack of students or population's education performance. Just like Bonnie said earlier, that the lack of school resources causes an educational inequality among students. Now, there are effects that can be seen, such as incapability of improving living standard, difficulty in finding jobs, and indirectly affects a country's GDP per capita. What it means by incapability of improving living standards is that when a student is unable to get the optimal education, they will not be seen quite capable by the community. And through that, people will look lowly to these students and would not hire them to do jobs and through that affects the country's gross domestic product, which is the highment of people, basically. And the responses, various groups and organizations have coalesced to address the following problems in hope that education may be distributed equally across the board and ensure a brighter future for students and the community in general. That's it from me. Thank you.
Wow. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, sharing the screen, please, again. And anyone question about the topic is the education issue. Someone asking about that? Who? No one? Yes, maybe the no one asking about something. Yeah, why is nervous about that? Please take it easy. Yes. I have some question for your team or anyone. Yeah. Do you have some feel about knowing about the education inequality during the COVID-19? The Korean or the Malaysian example, everything is okay. The whose leader is Soan? Soan, yes. Do you see or did you feel about the education inequality in the COVID-19?
Not me.
Yeah, not you.
Actually,
Yeah.
actually I'm happy because I have much time in quarantine. So actually, my friends or other people have their personality and change too, and their grades too. They they stay home so many times at home, so they can't go anywhere, and they stay home all day, so they can't study, or they're lonely. So I'm happy, but there are some loneliness or like a little sad, so they have some reduce their grades.
Yeah, understand you, of course. How about Malaysia? No one? Yeah, take it easy, please. It's okay. Anything is okay. Yes, anything is okay. During the COVID-19. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hello. Malaysian. Hello. Hi.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Anything tell about that? During the COVID-19, maybe many Malaysian students stress about that education inequality. Yeah, if you some feel that, please tell me anything. It's okay.
In my experience
Yes.
during the COVID-19 pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
it is very hard for me to learn at home. There are some factors. Yes, there are some factors that goes in. One of the factors is that when we are trying to learn at home, there's a lot of distractions, like my siblings, they tend to play around. So, yeah.
Yes,
I can't focus very much.
Yeah.
Also, sometimes the internet may not be as reliable.
Yeah.
Because you have to buy data. Some people might have it easy with Wi-Fi, but for me, I usually buy data and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I understand it. Yeah. Yes. Same as the Korean too. Yeah, maybe everyone stressed about that during the COVID-19. Yes, I totally understand it. Yes, and someone asking something, and Damin.
To Suwon, what SDG is education related to, and can you explain a little about it?
Okay, education include SDG 4, and they have 10 targets. I actually researched about it. They have 10 targets, which is briefly free primary and secondary education, and pre-primary education and universal literacy, or education for sustainable development and global citizenship, and so on. So I know that they ensure inclusive and equitable equality for every segment in education and promote lifelong teaching and learning opportunities for all. That is SDG 4.
It's okay, Tamin? Tamin is okay?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And Cheon, where is the chair? Yes, yes, please.
I want to talk about education inequality during COVID-19. When taking internet classes or Zoom classes, students who do not have computers or devices, they are facing the problems to join class, to likely to face inequality.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. But everyone think about the COVID-19 is bad for our life, but something is a new one, give a new one. I think like this one, the connect by Zoom class is a normal thing. So it's some kind of the good one us. Yeah, maybe someone asking more who? No? Yes.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
So this
teacher
can be
yes.
this can be far from the topic. But anyway, the Malaysia student, where are you now? It looks very cozy, like a living room in our house. So that's my one question. And your uniform is really fancy. So do you usually wear the uniform when you go to school? That's my second question. And third question is, the Korean students after the school, they come back to home and each log in the Zoom, but how can you put together in this time after school there? So just to freely talk about your situation there.
Yeah, Miss Kang is the English teacher, and please say about any question. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, first question: where are you now?
Yeah. Yes.
Hello. Actually, right now we are all at school.
School.
Yeah, we're at school right now. It's not school. It's not a school period actually, but we've taken the time to plan, to get together and practice a little bit before our meeting. So this is why we're all gathered here right now. Yeah.
So you are in the one of the room in the school building.
We are actually in the counseling room right now.
Counseling room. Oh, counseling room. Oh, I see. It looks really cozy. Yeah. Yeah, like a living room. Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
And
The uniform.
Yeah.
So right now we are actually wearing a uniform called batik, but we call it baju batik. So it is a uniform made specifically for traditional purposes. So we're wearing traditional clothing.
Oh, why only you wear
I'm the only
blue?
blue here, right? Yeah. So actually, in our school there are two levels. One is higher level, one is lower level. I'm actually in the lower level, so that's why my shirt is the only one. I'm the only one in the lower level, so that's why my shirt.
Understand it. Okay.
Oh my! So the level is decided from the score.
Yes.
What score?
No. Yeah, age.
Yeah. Age. I see.
Yeah. Okay, blue is nice, super good. Yeah.
In Korea, there's a third different grade, but we wear always the same clothes. And the color, look at our student, it's black or very dark colors. So very contrast in this situation. So thank you for your answering. Okay, may I bother you? Okay. The last question is, why do you decide to put together in one room, not log in individually from your house or on Loom. Yeah, I think each the region there must be a region you put together for this class.
So we put together this gathering for first of all so that we can all get a little bit of better internet connection for this Google meeting. And the other thing is so that we can rehearse our parts together. Yeah, and discuss the things. Yeah, like that.
Wow,
That's the reason.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, rehearsed and study together to prepare for this class. Oh, I see.
Yes, okay. Yeah, thank you. And it's good. Take it easy. She makes the mood more softly. Thank you. And the next step and the next topic is the human rights. Human rights, raise up your hand, human rights. Who? Okay, and also, and yes, okay, let's start it. Let's start the who started? Enoch? Who the first? So yes. Yeah, let's start the.
Hello everyone, my name is Soli and I am attending in Cheongbong High School. I will tell you why we choose feminism and child marriage. Our group decided on the demo of child marriage in Malaysia and Korean feminism. First, feminism means that in a gender-based, male-centered society, women resist the reality of oppression and insist on gender equality. And the second cure, the child marriage, means getting married at a very young age. Child marriage has long been recognized as an international problem. Next, I will tell you why we choose feminism in Korea. 5 years ago, South Korea launched a campaign to accuse women of sexual violence and sexual harassment at work and schools that they suffered from men. As the scale expanded, it was called the Me Too movement and later began to draw attention in connection with feminist research. Young Koreans dissatisfied with the Me Too movement tried to suppress women's voices and social status by forming anti-feminism force. Gender conflict has continued for several years, gradually leading to the gender polarization of society, and currently conflict between men and women is very high in Korea. Feminists who seek gender equality live under oppression and unfair treatment, and women's human rights are deteriorating. So we choose feminism as the them to promote the perception that feminism is not women's supremacy and the current status of women's human rights in Korea. Next, I will tell you why we choose child marriage in Malaysia. Girls in Malaysia are often taken to become brides at a very young age. Of course, you may think that child marriage has already been eradicated in modern society. However, since Malaysia operates a dual legal system, the exact minimum marriage age is not known. Malaysian law is divided into Islamic law, Sharia, and civil law because one of the two laws sets the minimum age for marriage. That is, there are no exact criteria. Child marriage leads to gender inequality and blocks the possibility of women contributing to society. If child marriage is not eradicated, the human rights of Malaysian women will be further reduced and society will be transformed into a male-centered society. So we choose child marriage as our topic to spread the perception that child marriage should be completely banned worldwide. The next presenter is Eve.
Hello, my name is Eve, and now I will discuss the first topic, which is child marriage. According to UNICEF, child marriage can be defined as a marriage of a girl or boy before the age of 18 and refers to both formal marriages and informal unions in which children under the age of 18 live with a partner as if married. Excuse me, Ino, can you put the next one?
다음 페이지로. 다음 페이지로
유나 다음 페이지.
감사합니다.
Korea is very nice. Yeah.
According to girlsnotbride.com, in year of 2000, the census shows that child marriage affected 6,800 girls below the age of 15, as well as 4,600 boys in Malaysia. This is due to the fact that Malaysia has a dual legal system, which means that the minimum age of marriage can be determined by either civil law or Sharia law. For Muslims, Islamic law sets a 16-year minimum age for girls and permits even earlier marriages with no apparent minimum with the permission of a Sharia law. Next slide, please. 감사합니다. Based on the table below, it shows that the profile of child marriage in Malaysia in 2018. It has stated that child marriage occurs both in rural and urban settings across all states in Malaysia. Both boys and girls are undeniably affected by child marriage in Malaysia, but the impact on girls are greater. 90% of children who were married in 2018 were girls. Research has shown that state with the highest number of non-Muslim children married in young age is Pahang, the other side, and with a total of 102 children, whereas Sabah was nominated as the state's highest number of Muslims children married with a total of 334 children. These are one of the evidence that shows child marriage issues frequently happen in Malaysia. In late February 2013, a 40-year-old man was charged with a statutory rape of 13-year-old girl in Sabah region of Malaysia. It was later reported that the man had taken the 13-year-old girl as a second wife with the consent both of his first wife and the parents of the questions. The Joint Action Group on Gender Equality, a coalition of Malaysian non-governmental organizations, has raised particular concern about situations in which rape victims have been forced to marry the rapist or another man to hush up the crime. Apart from that, religious beliefs as well as the taboo around sex outside of marriage plays a major role too. When asked why they consented to their daughter's marriage, parents often explain that girls are too wild and beyond control, and marriage is the best solution to protect them from themselves. Next slide, please, Enoch. Oh, the other. The other slide. Students and teachers, allow me to remind each and every one of you that there are many deadly side effects from early marriages. Based on the report by the Sun Daily News, girls under 18 are more likely to experience preterm delivery than those who are older than 19. These effects are attributable to the mother's poor nutritional status, lack of access to social and reproductive services, and high risk of infectious diseases. And the most concerning side effect above all is that girls forced into child marriages are at risk of being controlled by their husbands and in-laws. Decision-making power about their life shifts to their spouses and in-laws, which causes them to lose their individuality. Next slide. In a nutshell, the effect of child marriage can be listed down. For instance, children will lack of education. They will also definitely miss out on a childhood and experience poor healthcare. Other than that, they will definitely live in poverty and will forced to live in unsafe environment, which will lead to domestic violence. My fellow friends and teachers, the next video that Enoch will show is that how we can make a better world by tackling this serious issue to achieve sustainable development goals.
Every minute of every day, 28 girls are married before the age of 18. In response, the world has committed to ending child marriage by 2030. It's one of the many targets within the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. These goals aim to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure peace and prosperity for all. But wait, in order to build this new world, ending child marriage can't just be treated as one target among many, because if we don't end it, 8 of the global goals cannot be met. When girls are able to be girls, not brides, their health and education improve, their economic opportunities widen, and they're less likely to endure poverty, hunger, violence, and discrimination. And when they thrive, so do their communities. Ending child marriage really does mean we build a better world for everyone. So come, help us build it.
Hello, I have Dong-gyun, a scholar from Incheon High School. First, let me introduce the definition of feminism. Feminism is a belief social movement that breaks away from androcentric thinking and discusses the empowerment of women. Beginning with the first wave of feminism in the 19th century, feminism has a short history. However, the history of feminism in Korea is not very long. It can be said that the history of feminism in Korea began with the Me Too movement in 2018. Are you familiar with the Me Too movement? In Korea, the Me Too movement in 2018 made me think deeply about women's rights. As the South Korea prosecutor made public about the sexually harassment that she suffered, more and more people began to inform the world about their harm, and many artists and people working in culture field were solicited through Me Too. In Korea, the firepower of school Me Too was almost outstanding. There have been many accusations of sexual harassment and harassment at various schools, such as an art school. While I was looking for materials, I found a school Me Too video about a student's life in Malaysia, so I prepared it. Let's watch it together. After finish my presentation with this video, Amy will present her conclusion. Let's watch the video together.
So I just came home from school. We were talking about how there's a lot of laws protecting minors from sexual abuse or sexual harassment. And then he said, guess what?
Oh, nanti korang nak rogol, janganlah rogol yang bawah 18. Korang rogol yang atas 18. And the girls were like quiet, but the boys, oh, they were laughing. Like, it was so funny to joke about raping someone.
But he just says that, oh, you're a girl, so you're emotionally sensitive. This thing is sensitive because it's a rape joke. It's a rape joke, somebody's trauma. How could I not be sensitive over it? We want to stop this here. We want to educate. We want to change.
It made us sad, but at the same time, it gives us a proof that our culture, our society, we need to rectify this, come out from that kind of way of thinking.
It scared me so much. I cried. I am being let down by all these adults, all these educators that obviously should know better than me, should obviously know better than us 17-year-olds.
This little girl that I brought up from a baby, wow, she has this brave all this while in her. I cannot express how proud I am.
Who is the last presenter? Enoch?
I'm finished the
Who? Next
presentation.
one. Who is the next one? 누가 다음 발표지?
Emerald.
Emerald. Okay. Yes. Let's start with Emerald. Let's start it.
Emerald, can you hear? Can you hear us? Maybe she cannot hear now.
Oh, really?
Yep. Her facial expression.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Can I present? Can I present it right now?
Yes, your turn, Emerald. Start it.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, start it.
Is my speaker is okay?
Good, nice. Everything is okay. Start it.
Okay. Okay. Hello. My name is Emerald, and I'm the one who is in charge. Huh? Okay, I'm the one who's going to conclude everything in up. Okay, in a nutshell, we can say that a topic that if an Enoch just present right now are two serious topic. We can say that it is serious because two of this topic is still ongoing even though that there are already a lot of effort has been put into taking on both of these issues. For feminism in Korea, they began the feminism in 2018 with the hashtag #MeToo movements. This only happens after the South Korean prosecutor herself made public about her sexual harassment that she suffered. Meanwhile, for child marriage in Malaysia, the
Oops. Yeah, I think. Hello, Emerald. Hello. Yeah, oh my God, the connection is not good. Yeah, bad situation. Enoch?
Maybe Emerald just go out and come in again.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think the conclusion about this section, please send me some files on the KakaoTalk group chat, okay? Yes, understand it? Yeah. Sorry to end up this section about human rights, but this section is a very sensitive topic. Someone asking about that topic. Who have some questions? Anything is good.
Hello.
Back. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Welcome
Can I
back.
continue?
Yeah, come back. It's welcome,
Yeah,
but
welcome
the
back.
connection is not good. So your conclusion part, please uploading on the KakaoTalk. It's okay? Or
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, she can.
Or can you try again? Or you can upload the file.
Can.
You
Can
can do
try
that again?
Yeah. So share the video, share the
Yeah, 동규랑
PowerPoint
share the
again.
한 번 더 공유해 주세요. Yes. Good.
So can I present it right now?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Start it.
Okay. So in a nutshell, we can say that both topics that Eve and Enoch present just now are two serious topics.
Yes.
We can say that it is because both topics are still ongoing, even though that there are already a lot of effort has been poured into tackling both of these issues. For feminism in Korea, they began the feminism in 2018 with the hashtag #MeToo movements. This only happened after the South Korean prosecutor herself made public about her sexual harassment that she suffered. Meanwhile, for child marriage in Malaysia, the minimum age marriage is still 16. We can see that both girls and boys suffered of child marriage, but the girls suffers more. From all that stated above, our group would hope to create awareness, not only in Korea and Malaysia, but globally, to fully ban child marriage and achieve gender equality, especially amongst women. And that is all from Human Rights. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm very sorry for my connection.
Thank you. It's okay. Thank you. Yeah. Do you have some questions? Yeah, anyone can ask anything.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
Earlier, Enoch mentioned about gender inequality in Malaysia, right? My question is, what about gender inequality in Korea? Can you elaborate further about that, Enoch? Enoch, right? Enoch.
Enoch.
Who will answer among Korean students?
Yeah, wait a minute. 동규나 대답해 보세요. Or I think I think, Jude, wait a minute. I think the question is very sensitive things, and maybe the student can, maybe he needs a time for finding the answer.
And,
So
and
I think,
also, sorry for
yes,
interrupting. If it's very deep thinking, I can translate it to English when he speak in Korean.
yeah. So, Jude, I think after the class, I'll send some link. So the Padlet link, I'll send it, and you wrote that, you will write that on the Padlet, okay? And then the Enoch answer that. We'll answer it, okay? Yes. Okay. Do you have the other questions? Because why I hurry up? Because 8:30, it's too late. So we need more than fast, okay? So sorry, the next term, environmental problem. How about who? Raise up your hands, environmental issue. Yes, okay, let's start it. Sharing the screen. Who is the leader, environmental, where is it?
제가 지금 하고 있어요.
네, 기다릴게요. Wait a minute for 1 second. And break time, I have some questions. Why the Korean wearing the mask? I think you stay alone. So if you're okay, take off the mask, okay? Yes, okay, start it. Yeah. Start it.
네. My voice is okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
네. Hello, I'm a student at Yeongjong High School, and my name is Soin. I am here today to share the story of global climate change with my Malaysia students. The table of contents is the first reason for topic choice. What is climate change? Second is Malaysia climate change. Third is Korea climate change. Fourth is conclusion. First of all, why did we choose climate change as a topic? So, climate change is an environmental problem that we can feel directly everywhere in the world. So I thought that it was necessary to investigate the climate change that is taking place in Malaysia beyond Korea and recognize the problem. So what is climate change? The modern climate crisis or change refers to a phenomenon in which the global climate pattern changes rapidly, along with the gradual rise of the global average temperature, such as global warming. We have prepared a video that shows the effects of climate change in a simple way. Let's see.
Human activities, from pollution to overpopulation, are driving up the Earth's temperature and fundamentally changing the world around us. The main cause is a phenomenon known as the greenhouse effect. Gases in the atmosphere, such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and chlorofluorocarbons, let the sun's light in, but keep some of the heat from escaping, like the glass walls of a greenhouse. The more greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, the more heat gets trapped, strengthening the greenhouse effect and increasing the Earth's temperature. Human activities, like the burning of fossil fuels, have increased the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere by more than a third since the Industrial Revolution. The rapid increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere has warmed the planet at an alarming rate. While Earth's climate has fluctuated in the past, atmospheric carbon dioxide hasn't reached today's levels in hundreds of thousands of years. Climate change has consequences for our oceans, our weather, our food sources, and our health. Ice sheets, such as Greenland and Antarctica, are melting. The extra water that was once held in glaciers causes sea levels to rise and spills out of the oceans, flooding coastal regions. Warmer temperatures also make weather more extreme. This means not only more intense major storms, floods, and heavy snowfall, but also longer and more frequent droughts. These changes in weather pose challenges. Growing crops becomes more difficult. The areas where plants and animals can live shift, and water supplies are diminished. In addition to creating new agricultural challenges, climate change can directly affect people's physical health. In urban areas, the warmer atmosphere creates an environment that traps and increases the amount of smog. This is because smog contains ozone particles, which increase rapidly at higher temperatures. Exposure to higher levels of smog can cause health problems such as asthma, heart disease, and lung cancer. While the rapid rate of climate change is caused by humans, humans are also the ones who can combat it. If we work to replace fossil fuels with renewable energy sources like solar and wind, which don't produce greenhouse gas emissions, we might still be able to prevent some of the worst effects of climate change.
Yes, I will pass the turn to the student who will presentation the second topic.
Hi, my name is Cornelia, and I will present about Malaysia climate change. Next page, please. The climate change of Malaysia is haze, which is a slight obstruction, occurring of the lower atmosphere typically caused by fine suspended particles, which is haze or air pollution has been an ongoing problem in many countries in Southeast Asia region, and Malaysia is one of the worst affected. Haze has been a major issue for the country, driven by peat fires, slash and burn, and last but not least, due to exhaust gas from mobile emission sources. Next page, please. The first cause is peat fires blown by the wind from Indonesia. Peat fires burning in Indonesia is a common theme. For decades, Indonesia's smallholder farmers have been using fire to clear land for crops to produce commodities like palm oil. Peat is comprised of 90% of water and 10% of organic matter. Peat fires can thus smolder underground for weeks and nearly impossible to put out without heavy rains. For example, peat fires burning on the island of Sumatra in 2013. Wind changed direction, slightly blowing the acrid smog further north into Malaysia. The pollution index in the capital Kuala Lumpur rose close to the officially very unhealthy level for the first time, but registered up to 746 elsewhere, well above 300 considered as hazardous. Next is slash and burn practiced by the farmers. Slash and burn agriculture is a farming method that involves the cutting and burning of plants in a forest or woodland to create a field called a swidden. The slash and burn problems flares up every dry season to varying degrees and generally is worse between between July and October and during El Nino events. Burning land occurs as it is cheaper and faster compared to cutting and clearing using excavators and machinery. Fires started for this purpose sometimes spread and create forest fires that contributes to the haze density. Last is due to exhaust gas from mobile emission sources such as motor vehicles and principally in urban areas. The transportation, especially motor vehicles, is a major source of traffic pollution in the city center or in urban areas that cause of haze. The increasing number of motor vehicles, which is in 2004 to 2017, the total number of newly registered motor vehicles was about 286,771,902 units of motor vehicles. The increasing number of motor vehicles means that the gas of motor vehicles also increased. Next, the impact of haze in Malaysia. The first one is the loss of economic sectors, especially agriculture and tourism sector. Agriculture was affected because of the haze, as it will disturb the photosynthesis process. This is due to the insoluble aerosol attached to the leaves. The imperfect process of photosynthesis causes the production in agriculture sector to decrease. Besides, the haze caused many tourist spots to be closed for the safety of the residents and tourists in Malaysia. The second point is increased hospital visits for treatments that related to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, upper respiratory infection, asthma, and rhinitis. Haze particles sometimes affect the heart and lungs, especially in people who already have chronic heart or lung disease. For example, asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and heart failure. Children and senior citizens are more likely to suffer the health impact of haze, and this is linked with the first point, which is the impassioned cost alone from haze episodes was estimated at around $91,000 per year in Malaysia. Next presenter.
Hi, I'm Minche in Korea, Yangjeong High School, and I'm going to present about Korean climate change. For Korean climate change, I would like to introduce yellow dust. It is a meteorological phenomenon that affects much of East Asia year-round, and especially during the spring months. Next. So the cause of the yellow dust is originated in the deserts of northern China and Mongolia, and this desertification in northern China and Mongolia owed to intensive logging in the forest and intensive harvesting of arable land, and is released into the atmosphere by strong winds and carried to the Korean peninsula via the jet stream. And the impact of yellow dust is, I'm going to introduce the positive impact. And first, causes yellow sand rain is alkalinity, but it neutralizes mainly acidic domestic soil. And yellow sand particles adhere to the surface of the caterpillar, which has a fatal effect on the pine tree, and the caterpillar dies, making the pine tree thick. And the negative impact is causes eye disease such as respiratory disease, conjunctivitis, and dry eye syndrome. And blocking sunlight by causing obstacles to precision machinery, preventing crops and herbivores from breeding, impeding growth. Next.
Thank you, Pinche. Hello, my name is Rachel. So I'm here to conclude our presentation. So both of the Malaysian and foreign topics refers to the climate change, that is the haze problem, and also the yellow dust issue. So both of these issues cause negative impact towards human health by worsening air quality, increasing number of morbidity and mortality, and also altering the frequency or intensity of extreme weather events. Therefore, I'm going to discuss the solution and idea to avoid the impact for both Korean and Malaysian issues. So the first idea is to avoid outdoor activities, especially for the elderly and people with respiratory diseases. So as we all know that we couldn't solve the haze and yellow dust problem in a short of time. So the only thing we can do is to protect ourselves. So the health minister suggested or advised those with existing respiratory ailments to wear a respiratory mask when outdoors, such as the N95 mask. Other than that, staying indoors is the best choice. Staying indoors as much as possible and keep the doors and windows closed. The next idea is a prohibition of entry and forced displacement and methods of improving the natural environment to create a sustainable ecosystem. For example, Malaysia, the government's plans to entice Malaysians to switch to eco-friendly vehicles as part of the national green technology measures because they plan to replace diesels and petrol vehicles. Eco-friendly vehicles, other than that, the Korean government also suggested citizens to ride bicycles or public transportation to reduce the pollution. And the last idea is full protection of forests and peatlands as well as restoration of peatlands through law enforcement. For example, on the year of 2020, Malaysia pledged to plant 100 million trees over the next 5 years to help restore depleted forest area and meet its commitments to curb planet warming carbon emissions. We should keep in mind that clean environment is important to live a healthy life. The environment has given us so much. Now it is our duty to keep it safe from for the next generation. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's very impressive comparable haze and the yellow dust. Okay, let's move with the other ones. Do you have some questions? The one question is okay. The time is too late, so just only one. Any others? Do you have some questions? No? Yeah. If you have some questions, I will send the link after class. Okay. Sorry to late the time. The last team is the immigrants. Where is the immigrants team? Raise your hands. Okay. Oh my God, the blue shirts comes out. Okay. Yes. Who is the leader? Who is the control about the one? Kaun? Yes. Okay. Let's start it. The topic is immigrants.
Yeah, let me start it. Yeah, hi, I'm Ru from immigration team. I'm attending to Incheon Kumang High School, and we are going to present immigration issues that happens in Korean and Malaysia. This is sequence for our presentation today, and this is our team. Charles and Tamin are going to present about what part, and me and Uva are going to present how and conclusion part. Then let's get started.
Di Korea.
Bikin menu ini pasti banyak yang suka banget, apalagi lagi berasa banget.
Hello everyone, my name is Charles TJ from SNK Takis Papar School. I will be discussing on the topic of what is immigration. Before we move on to discussing about immigration issues, we will be first talk about immigration in general. So immigration is a process through which individuals become permanent residents or citizens of another country. This country being Korea or Malaysia. People do this because of a myriad of reasons, which we will get into later. Historically, the process of immigration has been a great social, economic, and cultural benefit to states. Keep in mind, though, there are some disadvantages of immigration also. The immigration experience is long and varied and has, in many cases, resulted in the development of multicultural societies. Many multicultural societies, which we can take, for example, Malaysia with its multicultural with a variety of cultures and religions. Many modern states are characterized by a wide variety of cultures and ethnicities that have derived from previous periods of immigration can be from the past or from a long time ago. Okay, we'll move on to the next presenter.
So, in order to understand why immigration happens, we need to learn the push and pull factors. First of all, push factors are reasons that compel people to leave the area of where they reside and settle someplace else. Pull factors are the exact opposite of push factors. They attract people to move and settle in a particular area. Next page.
Hello, okay, my name is Uva and I'm from SMK Takis. Now I will present about the immigration issues in Malaysia. Well, Malaysia is rich with natural resources such as petroleum, palm oil, pineapple, and more. And Malaysia is a strategic location that made Malaysia a major destination country for migrants from Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and even African countries. Other than that, the majority of immigration to Malaysia is due to the economic opportunities, while like in the agriculture and even in construction. While there are substantial number of irregular and vulnerable immigrants come to Malaysia for seek for protection, and they even have mixed marriage, and for some of the migrants is for vacation, and there's more. Next slide. Next slide.
Unregistered migrant children are children who have come to Korea with their parents or who have been born in Korea who have not been registered because they are not qualified to stay. There are no accurate statistics on how many unregistered migrant children, including refugees, currently exist in Korea. Children have the right to be registered immediately after birth so that they can be guaranteed human rights. Korea has no law to implement it. Those children cannot receive basic vaccinations and are excluded from the various welfare benefits.
Okay, how immigration works in Malaysia. Okay, the role of immigration in Malaysia development. Basically, the flow or entrance of immigrants into Malaysia has enhanced the country gross development product, while at the same time, it builds up the job opportunities for Malaysians since they have filled up the vital gaps in low and mid-skilled jobs. For the low-skilled job immigrants, they can create additional jobs by filling the workforce gaps not filled by Malaysian workers, and it helps to raise the demand for both unskilled and employment and the highest skilled Malaysian. And it also makes Malaysia a very attractive investment business destination. Okay, next slide. Okay, how can Malaysia strengthen its immigration system? Next. Well, they have 6 ways to strengthen Malaysia's immigration system. First, by aligning the institutional and legislative framework with the human resource strategy. Second, establishing an evidence-based system for identifying labor market shortage that immigrant labor can fill. Third, adopting a lively system that responds to labor market needs identified in the evidence-based system. And fourth, using a broader set of criteria to categorize immigrants such as their personality, the credentials and everything that, and defining approach, requirement, employment, and preparation. 5, strengthening the monitoring and enforcement of immigrant and labor regulations. And lastly, investing in upskilling and unskilled workforce and promoting their productivity, enhancing technologies. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Yeah. Why is Korean society has negative about migrants and refugees? Yeah, I'm Ru from Incheon High School. Actually, the negative perception of refugees and migrants in Korean society has a great influence on the acceptance of immigrants in Korea. I analyzed the reason why Korean society has negative perception to immigrants by dividing them into social, cultural, and economic reasons. Yeah, first, it is because of the influence about economic power. Since 1990s, the number of immigrants has risen sharply, accepting immigrant workers as low-wage workers, and the government has abandoned the titles of categorism and the Korean race and declared a transition to multicultural society in 2006. And experts said that the multicultural policy was promoted in earnest with the aim of preparing a social integration policy at the time, and the perception that immigrants are treated and supported as a policy target and they get too much treatment has ignited the immigration hatred from this time. Yeah, this phenomenon can be analyzed in the realistic group conflict theory. According to theory, conflicts between groups result from competition over limited resources. Therefore, when the number of immigrants increases, native resistance regard immigrants as a threat of their resources they have enjoyed, and they have had an exclusive attitude toward it. A representative example of this phenomenon is a job problem. considering that the influx of immigrants has the effect of increasing labor supply and lowering wages. Job competition and wage decline due to the increase of immigrants have a greater impact on low-skilled natives. So therefore, the more low-skilled workers are, the more negative they are about the influx of immigrants. Next is the cause of hatred in terms of social and cultural differences with individuals. But, you know, we don't have time much, so I'm going to pass this page. Sorry for it. Yeah, next one is international communities' efforts for refugees and migrants. Yep. Then let's look at the international community's efforts to deal with migrants and refugees. First, there is a UN refugee agency called UNHCR to help migrants and refugees. They strive for the return of refugees, support for family reunion, and do some projects as a legal and material relief project for refugees, and they do promotion of international cooperation to permanently solve refugee problems. And they held an international forum called ATCR periodically to discuss resettlement of migrant and improvement of complementary routes. They says this year's theme is re-emerging and building globally. And in addition, UNHCR designated World Refugee Day to honor refugees around the world, holding various events to support migrants, providing opportunities for various subjects to refugees. These photos are events for migrants in 2021. Many countries, celebrities, and civic groups, also many people participated in many ways, such as hashtag movement, like Me Too before the presentation about human rights. You can see the artist in left photo, this photo. This is the artist who made a World Refugees Day emoji, and this photo is in right section is publishing company's tweet who published a book for children about immigration for World Refugee Day. And as you can see, many countries participated in the Blue Light Up initiative for Refugee Day. This is the photo of Japan. Lastly, I will finish by talking about the implications of this representation. We are living in a society where borders become meaningless. Therefore, immigration issues are no longer problems for other countries. Now it is ours. So our society should make efforts to solve fundamental causes such as perception and economic power of each country, not just superficial efforts to resolve the immigration issues such as foreign aid and policymaking. Each of us should also think about what perception did I have about migrants and efforts we can make, and have an attitude of putting them into reality, not just thinking about it. I hope this announcement will be the time for you to think your attitude about these issues. Thank you.
Yes, very nice. Thank you so much. Yeah, very impressive for us, and it's nice. I think someone asked, do you have some question about that topic, immigrants? And I think it's good. Anything is good. But no one. Yeah. Yes, just I have some question, Gaun, sharing the screen. Do you have some question? Okay, good, good. Yes. 안녕하세요. What's the question?
Okay. My question is, how can human resource can help to build up the immigration system? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, to answer the question, basically, human resource is their role is to support their organizational goals by, because human resource is important element in organization where there helps to help the employers to know the importance and the benefit of optimizing the productivity and success as having employees with the relevant credentials, personality, and the practical application to fit the job and the company culture, where they need to understand while hiring the employees, they need to understand where the summary of the employment in Malaysia first, and they get to know the requirement in Malaysia or in whatever is country, and the visa requirement, especially in Malaysia, and they need to conduct the interviews. And lastly, they should make the hiring decision whether they need to hire the employees or not. So it can make sure that they're hiring a good employees that can help the country to rest the GPD in the country. I think that's all.
Yes, I agree. Do you have some other opinion about that? The other team members, is it okay? Yes, everyone satisfies of that answers. And I want to discuss about more and more about immigration issue because I'm very interested in that issue, but we have no more time. So I'm sharing some screen for closing. Wait a minute. Yes. Okay. We discussed about the fourth section. Wow, we did it. We did that. Yes, I'm so happy. I think today class is a very meaningful step for us. I need some stretching for this time because too tired for a long time, about 2 hours. Yes, thank you so much. And we treat the fourth section. The first one is education issue. Very thankful about we have the chance to think about the education inequality during the COVID-19. The second one is the human rights. Human rights is a very important issue about related to the women's. I'm so impressive about the only woman, young women, the girls got married, and the other feminism in Korea. Very sensitive issue. And third thing is the environmental problem. It's a very nice one, the haze and the yellow dust, compare about that two things. The last one is immigration issue. That is a very big issue for nowadays. In Korea, nowadays the hot topic is the multicultural family and immigration rights, and then it's a very nice issue. I hope someday I hope to discuss it again and again. And so I think we met just only 2 weeks ago. At the first time, we don't know each other, but now we are the friends, all right? Yes, we can talk and we can discuss and sharing something, sharing thinking and solve problem together. I run 3 things through this class. The first, I found the student nationality was not problem in the global citizen education. It's very nice for us. Second thing is the students are willing to live to the country and practice and SDGs. You know SDGs very well, and you will do that in your life. And third thing is through this discussion class, our students have become a global people beyond the limit in English or the other nationalities. So today after class, I'm so proud of our students. Of course, the Korean students and the Malay students, very proud. Thanks so much. I hope someday, I hope to again and discuss in class. Thank you so much. Yes, I will send the Padlet address to you and leave some many message after the class. It's okay? Can you do that? Yes. The last term is the one each one student from the Malaysian, one student from the Korean, saying the goodbye and the close. Who can do say about the goodbye mention? Of course, I think in Korea, who is the most beautiful student? Anyone is good in Korea. Okay, the last one. How about the Minche? Can you read? Are you ready about closing ment?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Minche, please say hello say goodbye to Malaysian students, friends.
Goodbye and thank you so much.
And Minche, please more and more.
I love this class because I also enjoyed because I used to live in Malaysia and I feel more familiar and I like to talk about foreign friends and environmental problems. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Minche. Yes. Who can present about the say goodbye from Malaysia? One student. Who can say that? Anyone is good.
Hold on.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
감사합니다. Oh, it's very nice. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you so much to Malaysian students and Korean my students. Very thanks you. The last term is the take a picture on the Zoom. Wait a minute. I'll say the 1, 2, 3, and I will take a pictures. 동규나 준비됐니? 네, 잠시만요. 이걸 어떻게 키우지? 선생님도 잠깐만요.
공유를 풀고.
Yes, okay.
화면 공유 좀. 네.
네. We'll take a picture. So turn the camera, all of them. It's okay. Are you ready? Yeah. 교감 선생님, 혹시 들으시면 카메라 좀 켜주실래요? 네, 감사합니다. 서인이도 혹시 돼요? Teacher Ro, Mr. Ro, could you do that? Yeah. Okay. The first term is the calm, and second term is something the heart. Yeah, the first is the calm one. Yes, say hello. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Yes. The second one. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, something is closed eye. Please, this term is the heart. Okay, can you do that?
Heart.
Heart. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Yes, thank you. 공준아, 너도 했니?
네, 했습니다.
Yes, thank you so much today class, and thank you to Adele, Miss Adele. Thank you so much. Yes, Thank you. Say goodbye. Thank you. See you soon again. Bye.
감사합니다.
Bye.
감사합니다.
네,
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
안녕.
Bye.
Yes.
안녕.
안녕. Bye.
The clubs of the
Yes.
Bye, Kak.
And bye.
Bye, Kak. Bye, Lisol. Bye, Kontek. Bye, Miss.
I have a question to Malaysia students again.
Okay.
Because my class also the students have a different clothes. So how many uniforms do you have? Yeah, because my class there are 4 or 5 rooms, but the students in a room same clothes, but each room have a different clothes. So my curiosity is how many school uniform one student have? Three. That's why. Yeah. Oh, I see. Thank you. It was my question. Yeah.
Malaysia students, hold on please, because I want to take a picture on the screen. Okay, only yours. Yes, 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, sorry. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yes. Good. And Miss Adele, are you there?
Teacher.
Thank you, teacher, Miss Adele.
Come on.
Come on. Oh my God, Adele, how are you? Oh, thank you so much. Yes, yeah. Wow, it's very nice. Thank you so much. I take a picture. 1, 2, 3. Wow, it's good. Yes, thank you. 1, 2, 3. Yes, thank you. Yeah, could you take a picture, Miss Adele, your students, and send me the KakaoTalk and cell phone. Thank you so much. Yeah, see you soon again and again. And bye. Yes, bye. Thank you. Bye. I close the chat room. Okay, bye.
안녕.
Bye.